You've got a small node right there, but this would be kind of the place where they would try and hold it for the big bounce up. Okay, chart review for 5/2/2019, Thursday. Pointing to the area that I had highlighted in the earlier video clip that I stuck onto the front of this video. I'm not a very good video editor, I'm sorry, so I just kind of clipped it and put it in there. But just wanted to show you that area, and where did we bounce for the big bounce? It was right there, 20-point rally. So let's take a look at the rest of the charts here. On the weekly, we're definitely farther down than I had expected to make it at this point. But we've got a great bounce. Take a look, pay attention, catch on to this. Two tails right here, both of them sitting here in the low volume node. This is the space between volume nodes, and this is usually on a chart the obvious support and resistance levels that you see on like 5, 10, 15-minute charts or whatever. A little bit harder to see on a weekly chart, but I'll show you what those look like in a smaller time frame, just so that you're aware. Daily. So again, here's the tail. It's come down right here. See how the bottoms of the candles are here and the tops are here. That's what makes that low volume node, right? There's hardly any volume that's traded in there. It's all up here in a bell curve and down here in a bell curve. And so this little area right here is the low volume node. Nice little hit of the low extreme. That's why we do that with the ATR. Why I showed it to you, I believe I went over it this morning. Not 100% sure, but that's how we figure out, kind of like the extreme move from where it's trading in the morning, how far it can possibly go, and how to mark out the levels and stuff like that. 60-minute, this is the same area right over here. You can see the dip right here. So kind of on the bigger time frame. Massive sell-off early thing in the morning. Right down hits this and pretty much back up the rest of the day. And where are we at? We're sitting at the bottom of this node right here. This is the bottom of the volume node. And where's the space? It's the space between the bottom of these candles and the tops of these candles here, right here. Expect some resistance, pull back into this area right here. You've got a volume node right here. First bounces off the top, second bounces off the bottom. If they're weak bounces, then they'll usually go down to the next volume node and do it again, bounce off the top, bounce off the bottom. Pretty decent volume today. Anything else on the 60-minute chart that I can really talk about? No, not really. Let's go to the intraday. Smaller time frame. Kind of see how the levels did here. Control 2, and seems weird to be pointing arrows down these days. Morning was 7:30, was right in here. So we hit this first little level right here. Bounced off. Nice run across. Could have got a scalp out of that for sure. It was very strong, I'll tell you that. So when you look at this right here, this grind, notice that there's no pullbacks. It's very small range, very tight. It's when you watch it, it's like literally a grind, right? It just never falls back, never pulls back. and it's so tight. This is really a very strong trend. Could have got out of there with a tick or two right there, and then it hit the next one, bounced again off that level, and that was pretty much it. Found support on the line again, and it was gone. Bounced off that line. You could have got a scalp out of that one. Real close to this one. Good scalp right there if you got in a little bit early. Sells off, finds that line. Total meltdown down here on the delta. Finds this line. So this line right here and this line right here are this node right here. It's right in this area, and I'd kind of talked about this top area being a place for a good bounce right here. It actually got it off this this previous little shelf of volume right there. I took both of those. I think that was a good trade right there. Ping-ponging in there. Thought it was going to really hold right there. Didn't see the rest of the sell-off coming, and gone. This area right here was what I talked about this morning, being the place that the institutions would want to join in, and you can see one move up, came back. You got kind of the higher low kind of situation happening here, but that was it after it, and it just for the rest of the day was pretty much working its way higher. So where did it trade to? Coming up, it basically traded into this node. You got your first bounce off the bottom of the node right there, and then it traveled across, basically hitting the top of the node. This was actually a bigger node over here, but that's mostly this volume, so it's kind of not a good representation of what it really looks like. So you can see that this top piece lines up right up into this little gap right here. This is the LVN, low volume node, right? And here's the first one. Where does this one line up? Lines up right into that low volume node right off the bottom. Bounce, not a strong turnaround, keeps on going, trades across it, bounces from the top or off the top right there. Depends on how you perspective, I guess, in the direction you're going. This trades back down into this node, bounces off the top, and it starts to ping pong, trades off the level, and it's gone, right? It travels all the way up. There's nothing really up here. These levels are pretty much challenging the bottom of this. This is a big LVN area. Ping pongs in the trade area. Sells off again, comes back down. It is attempting, but too weak to bounce off the top. Falls to the bottom of this node. If I drag this over, right, you got this volume node right here, trades down into it right there, bounces off of it, and pretty much ping pongs the rest of the day. You can see, even with the delta here, that the buyers were basically holding this market up with limit orders. So this is delta. Let me put an arrow here. This is delta. It's going down as basically price is kind of going up and flat. So the way that they're holding this market up, because these are market orders, this is all market orders. So if somebody's selling heavily with market orders, right, and they're holding the market with limit orders, so the institutions are basically interested in being in this market where somebody like was basically selling into this, trying to get out, and they didn't move the market at all. The institutions basically bought everything that was thrown at them, held the market up. I think this is a clue that we're going to continue to rally back up. I don't think that we're falling farther at this point, but you don't know who's going to show up to trade. It's a game of probabilities, so just keep that in mind. But this looks like a hint that they're putting a floor in at this level. I don't think they want it to fall too fast. Market symmetry. So I think it was this first swing right here that I took the measurement off of, and then basically followed through on it. You can see that the levels held all the way through. They were trading pretty much in a range the whole way. Even right here, there's like a little bounce. They tried to hold it right there. This area bisects the two sides trading. Again, you got two-sided trading right there, bounce up. But you can see, you can draw these on your own chart and see the actual symmetry, and basically look how perfect the measure move is, right? All the way down onto the bottom, back up. There's a pivot area. So I kind of show you this stuff right here so that you can get an idea, when the price is moving and stuff, that you kind of want to be somewhere around the lines, taking trades. Just, no guarantee that those are the spots, but as you can see, a lot of action happens, and it's just something that can increase your odds of having a successful trade. So just keep that in mind. Stocks travel a certain amount of distance when they get into motion, so they have a certain range and pattern in the market, and they tend to, the levels tend to play over and over again as they go across the chart. The bottom of this one, the top of this one right here, right? You got kind of a top right here. You got all these bottoms atop. So just keep that in mind. Hope you caught some of those trades today. Hope you were able to trade off some of my scalp lines. I think there was some decent trades in here. If you caught them, there was a big melt here. This was probably pretty scary. I think I did some pretty good trades right in here. I scalped a whole bunch of, like 2 or 3 times right in this area. So it was a really good little scalping day for me. But yeah, hopefully you caught them. So see you in the morning.